Hello everyone, welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be creating with the Large Die of the Month Club kit from Spellbinders. Now this one is a little bit different. It makes up a holiday decor piece. But before we get into the crafting, let me show you some of the club kits that I have here on my desk. I'll show you the Large Die of the Month Club kit first. This one is called Stitched Ornament and Display. There are 16 dies to this collection, and the focal piece is this beautiful Christmas tree bulb that you can stitch on. But you can opt not to stitch on it. You can just use the outline piece, of course, and that would look stunning too. Next is the Small Die of the Month Club kit, and this one is called Outlined Christmas Sentiments. This is a really fun Christmas sentiment set. It has like it says, it has the outlines to them. But it's a really pretty font, and then you get a few florals as well. Next, I have the clear stamp and die of the month for October. This one is called Wonderful Christmas, and I have the dies on the back, as you can see. You can get this club kit without the dies if you just want the stamps. But it has a lot of beautiful sentiments. I love the one that says, "Wishing you a Christmas filled with sweet memories." And then last, I have the embossing folder of the month. This one is called Scattered Christmas. So it has all these beautiful Christmas images on it. Let me hold it up close to the camera so you can see that better. I'll be using this embossing folder for today's project as well. So let's get into the project. For today's project, I'll use some indigo cardstock. This is a nice heavyweight cardstock. And I'm going to start out by die cutting all of my pieces. You see the long rectangle piece there. I need to die cut that 4 times with this cardstock, and I'll, of course, do this off camera for the sake of time. I also created my own piece of colored cardstock using some ink. This is called Cheeky from Simon Says Stamp. I like this orangey pink color, so I'll be using that for the Christmas bulb. I'll cut out this bulb with some white cardstock too, just so I have a strong backing to this. So here are all 4 pieces. I used this die here to cut a little dip into my die cut. And I did that with all 4 of these pieces. I'm just going to show you how I did the last piece. The top edges hang off. They don't cut anything out. You center it between the embossed lines and then just run it through your die cut machine. And this is what it will look like. I'll use my scissors to snip off the rough edge. Next, I cut out a piece of cardstock that is 5 by 7, and I'm going to emboss it with this beautiful folder. Let me just take this off camera and take care of that. And then here it is, ready to go. I'll hold this up close, but isn't that pretty? This adds some really fun texture to the project. These 4 pieces have score lines on them, 2 on each side. I'll go ahead and fold those, and I'll do that for all of my pieces here. And then I can start putting this ornament together. To do this, you could either use liquid glue, like I'm going to do, or some double-sided adhesive. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue on either tab. And you're just going to glue 2 of them together. This will allow the ornament to stand up. It's nice using liquid glue because you have a little bit of wiggle time to get it right in place. And I'll just pinch those 2 ends for a minute. And then I'll do the same with the other side. And then this piece will go either at the bottom or the top of the 5 by 7 panel. And I'm going to use liquid glue again to attach these to the top and the bottom. This set is very easy to put together, as you can see. I apologize if you could hear the lawnmower going on outside. It sounds like my neighbor is mowing his lawn. But we are enjoying unseasonably lovely weather for this time of year. It's 72 and full-on sun. So there's my little weather report for Chicagoland for the day. Okay, now I'm going to do the same to the top, and here it is all done. And you can see how that just stands up. Very fun. Next, I'm going to glue the Christmas bulb to a backing just to make it a little stiffer so it's easier to stitch on. I'm using some white silky thread. This has a nice shimmer to it, but I'm going to cut down a strand. And then I'm going to pull 3 of the 6 strings out. If I were to use all 6 strings, it would get kind of tight in the circles on the bulb. So I will just pull 3 of them out. I used a little bit of tape to adhere the string to the back, and now I can start in on my stitching. Most of this I'm going to do off camera. It's just some basic stitching. And of course, if you don't feel like stitching, you can skip this part and just cut out the outline. It does have some really lovely decorative pieces to go on top, and I'll show you those in just a minute. But here it is all done. On the back, you can see the yellow tape holding my loose ends down. I'll add some glue behind this to adhere it to the outline piece. I sped this up here just a little bit. And this is just heavyweight white cardstock that I'm using. So now we can put on the decorative pieces. I cut these out with brushed gold. It's a very subtle gold. And they line up with the little notches on the edge of the bulb. And you can put one on the top. And then at the bottom as well. And the little circles overlap in the center on the sides. You can see how pretty that would look even if you don't stitch on your bulb. I'm going to add some gems, just 3 gems to the centers of my stitching. And this just adds a really fun touch of shine in the center of this bulb. I say the more decorative you can go on these bulbs, the better, especially for this project that we're working on today. I almost forgot to add the side brackets onto this piece, so I cut it out with more of the indigo cardstock as well as the brushed gold. I'll put a little glue on the bottom, and then they just snap into place on either side. This just gives the box more structure. I'll do the same to the other side. And that little touch of gold on the side looks really pretty. However, it would look pretty with just all indigo cardstock, I think. And now for the flowers. I'm putting some poinsettias at the front of this project. I'll put one at the bottom. I cut these flowers out with the same peachy pink cardstock and then white. Next, I'll glue the string. This is a paper string. You could use real string if you wanted. I'm just gluing that onto the ornament, and I'll attach it to the center of this box. I'm going to glue it down over this cardstock just to make it a little more sturdy. But if I were to do this again, I think I would just use some gold string. Okay, so this is what the bulb will look like. I'm going to go back and add a few green leaves to my poinsettias. I have gold leaves and green pine boughs already, but I just wanted a touch of a lighter green. And here is the finished project. Isn't that just pretty? You could give this as a present or just use it to decorate your own home for the holidays. The floral pieces and the Christmas bulb would look stunning on a card, and I am going to be doing a project where I just use those on a Christmas card. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful crafty day. Bye.